Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. This video is going to focus on where to buy gold safely. If you're a beginner buyer, it might be useful, or perhaps you're trying to brush up on some knowledge on purchasing gold bullion bars, gold coins, even silver coins and bars as well. If you're thinking about buying something, then this is going to be focusing on where to do it safely. So starting off, the first thing, well, if I was to tell you what I did initially when I first started getting into buying gold and silver, the very first thing, and I think a lot of people do something similar as well, is you're going to go to the Royal Mint. And the Royal Mint are going to be the UK's biggest, well, its most renowned mint. Is known worldwide. They do the sovereigns, Britannias, the coinage basically of the UK for the last 1,000+ years. And they do silver coins, silver bars, gold coins, gold bars. And this is something that, well, where I got my first purchase from. And the reason I did was because I wanted to make sure that what I bought was genuine. So I figured, long-standing company, I know it's going to be real. I'm going to purchase it from them, but it wasn't exactly the best price. And I'm not going to be focusing on the best prices in this video. I'm just going to be explaining how you can do it safely. So one thing I would strongly suggest is using a reputable online dealer. A reputable online dealer, there are lots of dealers out there. It's not just the Royal Mint. There are many in the UK, too many for me to name. All I can really suggest is go on the internet, go on Google, have a browse of bullion dealers in the UK and have a little look at who they are, refer them to check their reviews and have a look at their prices. The price doesn't mean absolutely everything, because although we all want to get bullion as close to spot for the maximizing the return on investment, it's important that cheapest is not always best. So a lot of times you will find a dealer, whoever it is that you enjoy going to, they might not be the cheapest, but if you build that relationship with them, if you like their service, if you like their products that they have on offer, then you can be quite loyal to them. So all I'm saying is have a little look and see what type of reputable online dealers there are. It's not just the Royal Mint, there are plenty. And take a little look and compare them when it comes to pricing, reviews. That's really useful. So you just need to verify that it's a trustworthy business. Long-standing is always useful. It's not a deal breaker. Just make sure that who you're dealing with is genuine. They're going to give you a genuine product and it's going to be delivered in the most safe way, which will be through a business is tested, is genuine. You know, if anything goes wrong, and things do go wrong, you know, packages may not turn up or something. It's never happened to me, but some things do go wrong. You have someone to go back to. Other things as well, when I talk about reputable online dealers, is you have local coin shops as well. Local coin shops, you might find generally are going to be sort of more family-owned businesses. The family-run businesses do really well, I think. I really enjoy going to them because they're face-to-face purchases. It's instant possession, so it's not all online. A lot of dealers you'll find is predominantly online focused rather than going into shops. Unfortunately, it's just the way it is. But there's usually the downfall of it being limited stock. And sometimes there can be a little higher, well, the prices are generally higher, I find, when there's local coin shops. But you've got to remember, they've got other things, they've got other prices that they have to factor into that. It's not just going to be an online marketplace where there's no upkeep and, you know, you have to keep the water running and the lights on. So they're not always the cheapest. But again, you can build and develop those relationships with local coin shops. And many of them are long-standing as well, so certainly is a good option. Another option that you can consider for buying gold safely is bullion marketplaces and auctions. I've never personally bought from an auction. You've got different places where you can buy. eBay is probably going to be the most popular, I would say. eBay can be useful If the seller is reputable and it's a good price and you know what you're buying is genuine, then it can be a good way for people to get a variety of different bars or coins, especially those collectors out there. So if you're looking for collections of, I don't know, some gold pieces that isn't available at the usual dealer that you have, and you've searched the web and you can't find any dealer that you're looking for a specific bar, for example, then eBay might be an option for you. However, you need to make sure that what you're purchasing from eBay is going to be genuine. And also it's the factor of, if it's not a company and it's private, just think about the privacy. Think about, I'm not saying that people are out to get anyone. I don't know anyone that, thankfully, I don't know anyone that has had anything happen to them, but it's something to think about. Privacy is something that is not something that is going to be, you can retain it back if you give it away to someone, unfortunately, that has malice intentions to just take your money and run off with it. But bullion marketplaces can be very, very good because you can get cheaper deals on marketplaces. Certainly there are sellers on there that are very reputable, but just it requires research. And if you're a beginner, it's not something I would typically recommend unless you really know what you're doing and you know what you're looking for. But marketplaces and auctions, they can be useful to grab a good deal. But if you're starting out, just spend some time away from the marketplaces and auctions. Leave that for later on down the line, unless they're reputable and you know it's genuine or you got means of testing. Just be a little bit more wary about the marketplaces. Another option is, well, apparently, now some tips I have for buying, just the main thing is the reviews. Check the reviews. Unfortunately, we live in a world where people can buy reviews. Just have a little look, use a bit of common sense, try and verify it. Trustpilot can be really useful, but just make sure to perhaps even click and audit one to see if they've given any other reviews, on any other sites, any other products. Certifications and ratings, they're really crucial, I find anyway, because you will never have a perfect company. You can find 1-star reviews on even the companies, the bullion dealers that I use. You will find 1-star reviews, but I typically find there is an error that can be corrected, which is not necessarily a reflection on the company itself. Some things do go wrong, but it's how those mistakes are handled. So what I do want to say is another thing that you can think of is LBMA approved dealers. They can be very useful, or, government mint status as well. The Royal Mint, of course, is going to be the long-standing mint in the UK that does offer gold products, which are going to be, of course, genuine, but they are going to be one of the most expensive. And another tip as well that you can think of is, is if you are typing in, let's say, bullion or gold and silver or something in Google, which we all do because we all view it, we all compare and have a little look. Just remember that the top results are going to be sponsored, i.e. it is going to be the dealer that pays the most money to have that spot. Now, the dealer, I tend to find the top spot will not always be the cheapest. And the reason is because they have this cost of trying to be the number one searched bullion dealer in the UK, but that price that they pay is often placed onto the customers to pay for. And that's why I say just have a little look, have a little compare with different websites, have a look at their reviews, have a look at other dealers as well. Word of mouth is really good if you can get into a community. Stacker Social is a very good community full of 2,000 members, and I'm not here to say whether you should join or not, but it's something that has a marketplace which looks to be pretty useful. I bought and sold from there. It's pretty good. And you just want that word of mouth from people, you know, if you're looking for a deal or you're looking for a specific gold coin or bar, and you put it out there to ask people, you know, where I'm trying to look for this, you can have some genuine answers from genuine people. The good thing about the sort of gold and silver community is I haven't seen very little of problems. Most people are there to help each other. I'm happy to help and answer as many questions as I can, but it's something to think about really when you do get into buying gold. So community word of mouth is really good. Develop those relationships. You can get some good deals. You don't have to pay brand new, you know, if you're looking at silver and you're looking at buying brand new silver, you've got VAT 20% on top of that. It's not so much a good investment. You're looking for pre-owned silver if you really want that margin, but of course it has gone up significantly in the last year. So it's just something, a little tip that I found that I thought I would suggest. Avoiding social media sellers without credentials, of course, going back onto the reviews. Also using secure payment methods. People like using cash. I do get it. I do understand people like that privacy. I totally understand that. I totally get that. However, if something goes wrong or you're trying to find the cheapest deal and you're taking that punt, then it's unlikely you'll get the money back, or you'll probably have a not genuine product. So I think if you're new, I would just stick with either reputable sellers that you can verify and use a bit of common sense. And the same thing with dealers as well. Dealers, if something goes wrong, they are going to help you out. So red flags with what I would suggest if you're looking at buying gold safely is too good to be true pricing. If something is sold significantly below spot, it's going to be fake. It is, I wouldn't even bother. It's not going to be genuine. It's probably going to come from abroad. Unfortunately, it just takes the seller one sale of a gold bar or gold coin to make up for a box of rubbish coins and things that they've brought in. So return policy or unclear terms. Now, bullion, because it's sold on its weight, there is an exemption with returns. I don't know exactly the correct term or the correct legislation or what it is for it, but otherwise, if you could return bullion and it go down, then you'll just return it and get the same price. So, I mean, it doesn't stand that for proof coins. Proof coins are a little bit different, but return policy, you're not always going to be guaranteed returns for bullion, and that's just normal. That's otherwise people would take the punt, and then if it goes down, they'll just return it. So, and also poor communication. When I sell an item, if I sell a gold and silver coin or something, or using sales tactics, they're just red flags. Don't fall for it. You want a good deal, but don't succumb to poor service. Certainly, if they're trying to sell you something. So, a little recap over it. It was going to be a quick video, so I do apologize, but thank you very much for staying to the end if you are listening. But stick to trusted dealers if you're a beginner. There are loads of different dealers out there that you can use. Royal Mint is, of course, going to be one of the main ones that people look to when they first start getting into gold and silver, but there are better options, I'll be honest, much cheaper ones, and you get the same product. So just do your homework, do your research, have a little look, protect your gold investment. A little bit of gold is always wise, in my view, of holding, certainly in these uncertain times. So I want to thank you very much for watching this video. If you did, please leave a like, please leave a comment, and I will see you in the next one.